Hey, it's your boy Tipsy Japan back with another episode of ATAS across time and space, baby. How y'all doing? How you doing? I'm joined with my co-host from Cross Culture over here on Tipsy Japan. He needs no introduction, but I always allow him to introduce himself. Ace, hit it off, man. Go ahead.
You already know it's your boy Ace of Cross Culture right now on the gangster lean. I need to fix that cam, but you already know what it is, man. What episode are we on? 59?
We're on episode 59. At 5'9". Yeah, you always do that thing. I can't even line it up right, man. But yeah, but you're on episode 59. That means 60's next.
Yeah.
You know, we're still in chapter 8 of Homo Deus by Yuval Noah Harari.
Yuval Noah Harari.
Yuval. You would know, right? Those of all names.
Yes.
You of all names.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been 2 weeks. It feels like a hiatus.
Hiatus. Are you pronouncing words like hiatus? My God.
That's what
hiatus.
That's what happened when you're away for so long, you know. I ain't been speaking right anymore. I've been speaking Japanese for like the last 2 weeks straight, man. You know, as you all know, we're signing in from Chiba, Japan, over here, and it's May. You know, April came and went, but the showers from April are here. April showers bring May flowers, they say?
Yes, sir.
Right. How's the weather there in sunny California?
It is sunny, and there has been a bunch of earthquakes.
Have there?
There's been so many earthquakes. I don't know what's going on. Like
I've seen earthquakes and rumors of earthquakes, but they're actually hitting like that.
No, they're hitting like last week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there was 10 in the course of 3 days.
10 earthquakes?
Easily 10. Yes.
How
10
do you
earthquakes
mean?
in the course of 3 days. Just
how intense? How intense was the earthquake of the greatest magnitude?
From where we were, it's been like threes. You know, nothing too crazy. And they only last for like 15-20 seconds.
Okay.
But it's just
can you call it?
Call? What do you mean call it?
Like, that was a 3.
No,
I'm not. We always do that. Like that was a strong 3. That was a weak 4. That was a strong 2. That was like a 2.5. Like calling it.
No,
and then you look it up on the phone. Like,
Did you sleep through the earthquake? You know, are you that used to it that it's just rocking you to sleep? You know, chill out. Rocking their chair.
Rock.
Out.
Yeah, that's what happened, man. I've been away for 2 weeks thinking about what's life going to be like in ATAS level 6, right? Because we're almost there. We're almost to level 6 now. And I was like, you know what? I've been in a peasant chair for half a year, and I had a problem with my hip because of it, or that was exacerbated by it. Now I'm not making excuses, but you beat me by 500 steps last month.
500 steps, and I have been out of commission. So yeah, you got no excuse, my guy.
No, I'm explaining. I'm not making excuses, but I'm explaining why I did so poorly, and it's because I pulled a muscle in my groin, and it's real hard to turn and climb stairs and do all the things I really like to do, like turning and climbing stairs. That's my thing, you know. Like, yeah, it was rough. I put in 25,000. I don't know if you noticed. Put in 25,000 steps. We talking about that S health. Everybody get on your S health. Samsung Warriors Unite. All right.
Samsung Warriors Unite. Okay.
Samsung Warriors Unite. All right. If you're on S health, if you're using a Samsung device, as a matter of fact, hit us up in the comment section. I will add you to the S health, and we will.
I gotta correct that right now. Because Samsung doesn't care if you're using a Samsung phone. You can download that app in the App Store or
Like I didn't
S
even
health.
actually get out. Like your audio went away for a second.
Oh,
Like
really?
you went out. You went out. I was like, hey, no, say that one more time for the audience, man.
So if you want to get on that S health, maybe ATAS needs to have a little competition, and we'll invite anybody who wants to be invited, and we will walk with you, talk with you.
No,
go on the podcast, and then we'll be
no
talking with
maybe.
you. Be walking.
It ain't no mate. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. That level, we could say maybe, but it ain't no maybe, baby. It's in terms of walking and talking with us with this S health. If you put your name in the comment section, you will be added today.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna check the comments for the next. Let's from episode 59 to 69. I'm gonna do my part. You do your part.
A 10 episode gap. So we want to see people getting out there.
Let's collect.
Healthy and active.
Yeah, man. Get those steps. It doesn't even matter. Like if you get your 10,000. If you set it at 12,000, I got mine set at 11,000 right now. So this year, I'm just saying. I upped the ante 10% because last year it was 10,000. It's good. It feels good to walk with friends. Jesus walked.
That's what Kanye said.
Yeah. You may be fast and walking it's not quite your thing. Maybe you just out there like water pulse laser. It's good to have it back. Right? It's good. Yeah, it's good for us to be back. But it's good for us to be on the road too and showing that we're getting things happening. Making things happen. And before we get into it, because we're not gonna dawdle. We're going full throttle. Yuval Noah Harari, episode 8.2, chapter 8.2. Is there anything you want to hit on before we get into story time?
Nah.
Let's get it.
We just get it. Yeah.
All right, let's get it. So we're gonna switch it up. Get in there and start talking about our soup du jour, soup of yours for today. This second half of the chapter is all talking about the narrative self. We're gonna touch on that. I want to narrative self. No, you're fast. I'm not even gonna let you say that.
Naive self.
Look, we experienced a little bit of pain, right?
Look, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you called me out for not calling you out. So
I'm just saying I had to be fast. That's all I said. I have to be fast. This chapter defined two types of brain, right? The experiencing self and the narrative self. But I want to really focus on the narrative self. Like, is it true? He said it all like it was fact that you have this part of your brain. Fact. Yes, these are facts. This is not like my opinion about this. This is fact. But yeah, this kind of narrative self, like that tells you what experiences were like after the fact, and it balances out the worst part at some 2 points during the experience. It says that you have this like average of those 2 points, and that tells you whether it was a negative experience or a positive one. And this part of your brain weaves the story together. Did that hit home with you when you were listening to that part of the chapter there? Did it make sense? Like, or like, nah, man, I think this is just his understanding of it, or a scientific understanding of it, like the narrative self.
So I'm gonna say I have to agree wholeheartedly with it. And the only reason being is because when people look back, they say, "Oh, the good old days." Nobody's thinking about the fact that they didn't have money in their pocket, the fact that they had to struggle and get to where they were going. They're like, oh, the music was better back in my day. Oh, the corner stores were cheaper back in my day.
Yeah.
And you are literally averaging your whole childhood or any group of time, I guess, and saying that the good outweighed the bad. And over all of these years of my life, the good outweighed the bad. So the music was better, the songs were richer, the colors popped more, the air was cleaner. All of these things, you're literally averaging. You're not saying, you know what, things used to cost less, but they used to be of crappy quality. Nobody says that. That's like, things were so much better back when I was younger. Back in my day, I never would have talked to my parents the way you talked. Back in my day, we could have just went down to the corner store with $1 and came out like kings. Back in my day, people were actually talking about stuff in their music. Back in my day, people say that all the time. Back in my day. And they're romanticizing the past. They're longing for those days gone by. And I feel that's the narrative self at work.
Right.
You never hear somebody say, you know what, things were just horrible when I was a kid. Everything was bad. No, they average it out and say the good outweighs the bad, therefore I'm going to talk about the good. It's very rare that you hear people say everything was bad and I just had to come out of it.
Can you think of it
at work?
Can you think of any time where only the good stories are told and you don't hear like any of the negative parts? Like, are there any situations where that doesn't quite feel right? You're only hearing the good parts of the story. Because when I know there are, when my better half tells a story, she's telling it from a certain perspective, and she doesn't sprinkle it with these little elements of realism that make it easier for me to accept that as close to reality.
I see.
It feels like the story is very subjective.
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna say that because that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Well,
I'll say it feels very subjective, and I have to. Okay, this is a subjective thing, and I have to put it on the subjective shelf rather than saying they're trying to be objective here.
I see.
Have you experienced it?
I would say that's the case with most people. Like I said, it's romanticizing the past. It's coming up with the feelings and emotions and reading into those of any one particular point in your journey and bridging it across the whole thing. Same thing with the fishing story. Oh, the fish was this big. The fish was this big. When the fish might have been this big, but it had this much fight in it.
And much,
but you're not talking about, hey, I broke 2 lines trying to get this thing and it still put up a fight. You're saying the fish was this big versus it was this big and I struggled a lot.
Yeah. See, what kind of story do you, hold on. It's so much to this. Because when I think of stories, right? Facebook stories, Instagram stories.
Oh my goodness. Snapchat.
The stories that we weave for folks are based on what we consider the best parts of the story.
Yeah.
A good story is told at the crescendos, not at the wham. It's you tell it at the best part, right? And because of that, for me, for example, I walked away from Facebook for, 2-3 years because it's like there was someone in my life that was looking back at the story and interpreting it at these peaks, and saying that that's the whole story. Well, hold on, no, that's not it. But then that's the story that I'm weaving because that's what I put online. But do you want to put out the boring stuff too, and just let people see what a day in the life all the time? No, because I'm not like a real net person, but other people are. Yeah. People who just sharing things. There are Sharons, that have like every single thing out there, and because the Facebook algorithm just kind of puts your stuff up there like this, a headline. Now people are weaving this kind of story together, like, wow, this person is like famous, or they're always doing this thing, or they're always, in front of the camera. Not necessarily the case.
I can see that.
That's my perspective. How about you? How do you control the narrative that your brain is automatically weaving, and then you put out there, and it starts to weave itself?
So my Facebook was hacked, and I don't know why they hacked it. This was a while back, and I tried to contact Facebook. Facebook did absolutely nothing. They changed the email that was associated with the Facebook, so all of the password lost emails were going directly to them. Long story short, that email or that Facebook account is lost. I had pictures there, and I wasn't just showing all the good stuff. There was times where I was apologizing to people, and times where I was asking for prayer, times where I was like, hey, I'm going through it right now. But that's the problem with social media nowadays, is that everybody just wants to show the best possible picture of their lives. And if it's not, then it's not worth it. So I know that there's an app now, and I can't remember the name of it every time I want to talk about it. But it's an app where it literally will give you a countdown, like, hey, you need to post a picture right now. And it will take a picture of using your front and back camera at the same time. It's like, just to make sure you're not fake. Like, if you're out here, then you out here, Don't be trying to throw up a gang sign on a flat white wall, and then you can see everything that's on the other side of the camera, that type of thing. But I kind of like that because it makes social media transparent, and a lot of people are super fake online. So all of these like prank videos or these reaction videos, they're fake, they're staged, and they're not real. Just not real at all. But a lot of people are grasping onto all of this, taking it in and say, oh, I want to be that person. I want to be just like them. I want my life to be filled with as much drama or joy or any number of things. And that's what we're waiting for. We're hoping that we put something out, it goes viral, we get those likes, so that our endorphins will be high and we will be satisfied.
It's a lot to that. It's definitely a lot to that. And so it's dangerous to take these stories at face value. It's dangerous to emulate our lives after folks that, like, there's a narrative out there, but you have to understand that regardless of, even if they want to say, this is my story, this is the real whatever, it's not that real. Reality TV is not that real.
Oh, reality TV is fake. Definitely fake.
Yeah.
It is fake. And a lot of people don't realize that even with reality TV, there is a certain amount of scripting, a certain amount of drama that quote needs to happen. I mean, if you have a camera in your face, you're not going to act real 100% of the time. It's just not going to happen. If I know that what I do right now, like, look,
I'm looking.
It's staged. Like, I put some of my favorite things on my desk so that people will know, like, okay, this is kind of what you're into. You know, you got some anime stuff. You got the Fuji's album. You have a figure here. You got Joker, who is needing to stand up.
Oh, hey, Joker's there. Yeah.
Got a what's it called? This is a record player right here. You know, I got a computer screen. This computer screen, it works, but I don't ever use it. It's there to give the illusion that you're in my space, that my world is open to you.
Yes.
And each piece that's here is here for a reason. So this is the narrative that I'm putting. It's like that I am turned away from my work, which is my desk, and I'm turning towards the world. So you get this narrative, like, hey, you know, he's open to us right now. You know, he has all of that stuff on his desk that he could be doing and tinkering with, but no.
But let me
turn towards us.
Let me turn around.
Yeah.
And focus on.
Let me focus on you guys for a minute. And that's just part of social media. Honestly,
wow.
It gives the illusion that I'm stopping what I'm doing to focus on you guys. That this is my narrative. You know, the narrative is that I was working, you know, I might have been doing something, but now I'm taking time out to make sure that I'm focused on you.
On you.
Yeah.
All right. So
right there.
so talking about the narrative is important sometimes, right? Reminding the audience that it is a narrative for their own good, you know, and that lowers the kind of tension, I guess. It makes it easier for them to connect to you and say, all right, you know, this person is real, or they're trying to be real. Like, our minds are telling us about two parts of reality: the experience in part and our memory of it, which is based on like an average of those experiences, and, you know, the best or the peaks of those experiences, but then a narrative that spills it all together. And it's extremely subjective. Now, we can't really get through life without being subjective, but you have to recognize it is what it is and then try to move forward from there. I feel like I would be remiss in not mentioning the biblical account of, you know, the basic narrative. The
Synoptic Gospels?
Yeah, Synoptic Gospels, right? They're talking about Jesus's life, and it's just like, all right, well, hold on. I want to talk about the good things. You know, well, you got four narratives, right? Trying to tell it from four perspectives, but how do you feel about that?
I say you got three narratives.
Oh.
You have three narratives and one research project.
Okay.
Because
which one's the research project?
Matthew. Yeah, Luke. Luke was a doctor. He was not a disciple.
Yeah.
So Matthew was written to the Jews. Mark, with power, was written to the Gentiles. John is all about love. And Luke was more so this is what I heard, this is what I pieced together. And because Luke was a doctor, he kind of held some weight. So research was his thing. So he had some credit as far as that.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's the problem, the quote, the problem with the Synoptic Gospels is that they are so close. And that's what going through any biblical schooling, whether it be undergrad or, you know, if you're going for your MDiv or your D-Min, that's one thing that's going to come up. Your doctorate of ministry.
Okay.
Doctorate of ministry.
I don't go for
it sounds
demons.
crazy, right? Demons.
I don't go for demons.
No,
I'm up here, you know, trying to exercise some of these demons through the conversation, man. I ain't trying to go for my demon.
But
go ahead.
That is one thing that comes up. You know, what is the problem of the Synoptic Gospel? And The issue is that because they're so close together, a
Yeah.
lot of them share different stories the same way, but highlight different things within the stories.
Uh-huh.
It's like, this wouldn't be important to my audience, therefore I'm going to highlight this portion as opposed to that other portion. And the problem with the Synoptic Gospels is that because they are so close, people are saying that, oh, they must have all gotten together and all written the same thing. You know,
Okay.
let me copy
Going over
off your
notes.
homework.
Yeah.
Fine, but just make sure that's a little bit different. You know, that type of thing. But that wasn't the case. You had 3 people who lived it, and 1 person that researched it after the fact, and they still came up with the same notes. So
they weren't friends. They didn't talk.
Matthew, Mark, Luke.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no, Matthew, Mark, John. Yeah,
John. They were friends.
Yeah, they were disciples. Luke was like after the fact. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He came after.
All right. So, I mean, Mr. Harari didn't necessarily go that direction, but I as Cross Culture's main host, the host of Cross Culture,
like
Cross X Culture,
there's another one.
I want to make sure that having you on as our subject expert there, that you can shed some light on that conversation.
I'm still learning.
That's what real experts do. All right, that's how you can weave the or sieve, the chaff from the wheat.
It's a sieve.
No. The action is sieve.
The item is a sieve,
and this is a shiv. Right?
Chill, yo,
yeah.
For all of our younger listeners, I apologize.
for those listening on Spotify, just hit a thumbs up because you get that action. I mean, the direction that we're heading into the next chapter, as we wrap up this one, is, one, we acknowledge that, right, there's a narrative self, there's an experience in self, there's this free will that we believe makes decisions based on what those selves are experiencing. And our understanding through the science is that free will is a construct. The self is also a construct. According to the author, these are ideas that we tell ourselves, even that we have a free will, because we can't accept the fact that we don't. We are unable to accept that. Ancient peoples are also were unable to accept the fact that our consciousness does not go on. Therefore, it does go on in some other way, shape, or form. It could be reincarnation. It could be go to another level, another plane. It could be go to below the ground, wherever. Cervantes de Leon, right, will weave his story. Or a story of Cervantes is that he's this guy that imagines that he's on a great crusade, and if he actually kills someone out there on his crusade, like, how will he accept that story? How will he tell himself that story? Will he tell himself that it was part of the narrative and he stays in that thing? Will he, make a new narrative, that he was in fact insane or something, and now he's out of it?
Cognitive dissonance.
Yes. There you go. That's the word for it. That's the word for it.
Yeah. Forced cognitive dissonance. If you're just coming up against it and you're just like, oh no, it can't possibly be. It's got to be this other thing, and that's where some people get a lot of psychosis and split personality disorder, because they want to try to compartmentalize that as not part of something that they would do. So you have borderline split. There's a few different things that kind of come out of extreme cognitive dissonance where you just do not want to come to grips with, or you feel that you are like a prisoner in your own body type thing. Yeah, there's a lot
it's not
there.
But see, like it's not that you want to try to compartmentalize a thing. Perhaps you have to compartmentalize it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to understand it in some way, shape, or form. I cannot be that bad a person. I cannot be that off a person, so far off track. My parents raised me well. You know, I've committed this much towards this cause that has to mean something. It's got to mean something.
Yeah. And
how do you feel about that?
What it comes down to is more so the person that you want to be versus the person that you are. And when you feel that something is impeding who you want to be, or there's some type of trauma that you're saying, well, you know, that doesn't fit my narrative, that doesn't fit who I want to be,
right?
And you kind of just choke it down, it will come up in one way or another again. So, you know, mental health tip, I'm pretty sure that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Either that or Suicide Prevention Month. It's one of the two. But yes, as a firm believer in good mental health, definitely get out there, get a, I don't want to say your lines, but, you know, maybe get somebody else who has a pen and pad and can write it down and can help you work through some of your issues, because we all need it. I mean, whether it be a trained professional or maybe you have a buddy who you can talk things over with. Getting it out is better than letting it fester inside. That's all I'll say on that.
Mental health, man. For real. You know, mental health for our society too, because the small narratives that we tell ourselves, you know, and the little lies, the little white lies that run as reality, these things are not confined to ourselves. Our families are affected, our communities are affected, the whole country is affected. So many people are living, you know, in another version of reality right now in your neighborhood because of these false narratives, false positives we tell about ourselves, or false negatives that we
positives, or false negatives. Yeah, let's talk about
agree to run
negatives
with
too. Like, people just spewing so much hate and like, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, and it's all because they're going through something that they're trying to bring somebody else down. But look, you gotta find your center, and you gotta find that compass, and you gotta just hold on to it. For me, it's the Bible. You know, I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know, that's my compass. That's where I get my worth from. So many people have said so many things to me over my life, but I have to keep going back to the Bible, because I don't know what they're dealing with, what they're messing around with, but the Bible says that I'm loved, you know, that I'm cherished above, that I am blessed and highly favored. You know, these are the things that I have to cling to, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, that before I was in the womb, God stitched me together, that he had a purpose for me before I was born. You know, these are the things that I have to cling to, because if I go around trying to build my house on a sand that is everyone's opinions, it's going to get washed away. But the Bible is a strong rock and foundation. Building on God's word, nothing's going to destroy that. That's just how I see it.
Now that's a beautiful way to land the plane, man. That's a beautiful way to land the plane. My question is, when we look at chapter 9, do you think that Mr. Harari is going to say that society turned to the Bible,
No,
went back to the
Never
Bible and said, now that we see that the science it's important that we have this narrative, let's go back to the narrative that tells us that we're kings and queens and part of a kingdom and beautifully and wonderfully made in the image of God and all this wonderful foundation right there. Do you think the next chapter is on that? If you do, you need to get subscribed.
You clearly don't know what we've been going through. No?
Man, oh man, he should.
Well, I mean, there's only one way to really know, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's to join us for episode 60.
Episode 60 over on Cross X Culture. Throw it up.
CXC.
All right. Meet us over there next week. Same time. It's gonna be exciting. Get yourself a pen, a pad, write it down.
Yeah.
It's your boy TPC Japan, man, telling you that's what it is.
All right. You already know it's your boy Ace of Cross Culture saying until next time, until episode 60, all through your week. Stay prayed up and be blessed.
Peace.